Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be on this holiday makeup look. I was wearing this look in one of my previous videos, my disappointing makeup products video, and I got so many requests for it, so here it is. I decided to recreate it, and honestly I like it so much better now than I did in that video, so I hope you guys like it as well. I did use the new Huda Beauty eyeshadow palettes, the Mauve Obsessions and the Desert Dusk palette. You guys, I don't know why it took me so long to try out her eyeshadows, but these are incredible. Like, this is probably my new favorite eyeshadow formula, and I mean, I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but you'll just have to see how the eyeshadows look in the video. They are amazing. But anyways, hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to grab a snack, and let's just go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so I'm starting off with a fresh face, no makeup, and I'm going to be doing my brows first, like always. I'm using my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer today, and I have this one in the shade Deep Brunette. I'm just going to be outlining my brows like I always do. This really helps. I feel like if you have brows like myself and you outline them first and then fill them in, it kind of gives you a really nice framework and like a start, and it makes doing my brows 10 times easier. I used to just fill them in with this at one point, and then at another point in my makeup life, I used to just fill in my brows with a pomade, and it always used to take me so long. So I feel like doing this cuts my brow time in half. Sometimes I still struggle, but for the most part, I really love doing this. Then I'm using my NYX Tame Frame Brow Pomade, one of my favorite drugstore brow products, and this one is in the shade Espresso. And I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the rest of my brows. To do this, I'm using an e.l.f. angled brow brush, which is another favorite of mine. I love this brush, and it's literally like $2. Okay, I literally need to get my eyebrows done. It's been like 3 weeks. When I was younger, I used to get my brows done like religiously every 2 weeks. Now I probably get them done like once a month, but like I can see the little strays coming in. Okay, like always, you guys already know, NYX Full Coverage Concealer. This is like all that I use. I've tried so many different concealers in a jar like this, and I always go back to this one just because it works so well and it's so affordable. So this one is in the shade Beige. I believe they have like 3 shades, but Beige matches me like perfectly all year round. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take an angled brush. It's like a really flat angled brush. I got it from BH Cosmetics. It's like my favorite to do this that I do with my brows. I got it in a brush kit from BH. It's called the Dot Collection. I'm not sure if it's still available, but it's a nice little set. Then I just use my beauty blender just to blend everything in. Sometimes what I like to do, if with the concealer the tail of my brow kind of gets a little bit lost, I'll just take the brow pencil and kind of make it like a little bit longer and extend it, because I like the tail to be a little long and like pointy and sharp, if that makes sense. So then what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the same concealer and prime my lids. I love doing this. And I'm just using this flat concealer brush. I think this is, yeah, from RC Cosmetics. One of my brows is always a little bit thicker than the other, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start with the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions palette. I just used this palette the other day, and it's so incredibly pigmented, you guys. It's amazing. So if I could get it open, that would be awesome. That's what it looks like. You do get a little mirror, which I love. I'm going to start off with the cream color, and I'm going to be applying that all over my lid to set my concealer. This brush, it's my favorite for setting my lid. It's the Flawless Concealer Brush. And if you have oily lids, I highly encourage you to always set your primer, whether you're using a concealer or just any eyeshadow base, because it really helps when you're blending out other shades to just blend so much better. So I'm starting off with the shade right here in the middle, and I'm just going to be blending that right into my crease. Also all over my lid, just very blown out. Then I'm using a Morphe M441. It's just like a more larger blending brush. Picking up the shade right in here, it's more of like a pinky shade. And using pink honestly sometimes scares me, because like I already suffer from like really dry eyes, so my eyes are red a lot. So sometimes using colors like this can be a little bit intimidating, but I feel like it's all about just like how you blend your colors out and once you do like the rest of your makeup, like looks like this always come together in the end. So that's the good thing about it. And if you don't like to use too many pink colors like this, you can always replace them with like orangey shades, because I know they can be a little bit more wearable. When I did this look last week, I honestly just winged it. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just kind of went with the flow. I always bring, see, like this is a problem that I have when I do my eyeshadow. I always bring it up way too high to my brow bone, and it bothers me, and I don't know, I think I need to just use smaller brushes, but it literally bothers the crap out of me. So I'm going to use the cream color in the palette just to like kind of highlight my brow bone a little bit to take away from the fact that I used too much eyeshadow too high up. So I'm just taking this shade right in here. And this is a pencil brush, by the way, from Sigma. I always do that. See, like I still need to practice my makeup skills. So if you guys are beginners, trust me, you're not alone. So I want to make my crease a little bit more orange and warm. So I'm going to go into the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk eyeshadow palette, which I love, by the way. A little bit of this color right in here. This one is called Blazing, and it's like a really nice orange. I'm using this Vanity Planet blending brush, and I'm literally going to apply that right where I applied the other shades, just to kind of add a little bit more warmth into the crease. Going back into the Mauve Obsessions palette, I'm picking up this beautiful deep burgundy color. Tapping off the excess with a Morphe M433. I'm going to be applying that just on the outer part of my crease. Really building it up. And I'm doing very tiny strokes with this color just because it's so pigmented. And I'm doing kind of like circular flickering motions, if that makes sense. So I'm taking my brush and I'm doing this, like flicking the eyeshadow into my crease. Because you don't need to be too harsh with these shades because they are intense. Like just crazy pigmented. I really love the quality of these eyeshadows. With a really tiny blending brush, this is the Morphe M506. You can see how small it is compared to the other brushes I was using. I'm going to be with no product on this brush. I just took my makeup rag and I just wiped off the excess product that it had. I'm just very lightly blending out the edges of the shadow. And the crazy part is about even these matte shades, you guys, there's barely any fallout on my face. Like usually I would have so much fallout, which is why I always like to do my eyes first, but there's like barely any. Like I could have honestly done my face makeup and then my eyes, which is crazy because like I've rarely ever find eyeshadow palettes that have zero fallout. This is probably definitely one of my new favorite eyeshadow formulas. Okay, picking up a flat shader brush. This one is from Urban Decay. It just looks like this. I'm going into the Mauve Obsessions palette again, and I'm going to be mixing the two shimmers that are in the palette, just literally mixing them back and forth. And then I'm going to use some setting spray just to really make them pop on the lid. I'm using this one from Ulta, and then I'm going to pack the color on. Basically packing the color on just in the inner half of my lid. Okay, going into the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette with the same brush, I'm picking up the color right here, which is Royal, and I'm going to be applying that also in the same spot where I just applied the other shade. It kind of gives it more of like a deeper dark sort of purpley shade, which I really, really like. Then with the Morphe M433, I'm kind of just blending those shades together. Okay, so then I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner because I feel like this look calls for some liquid liner. I'm using this one from Catrice. It's the liquid liner in the shade Dating Joe Black. It's just a traditional black liquid liner. I got this at Ulta and I have yet to use it, so it's going to be my first time. It has a really nice pointed tip, as you can see. So I'm just going to do a pretty dramatic wing just because this look needs it. So I do like the Catrice eyeliner, but honestly I prefer my NYX matte liquid liner better just because the wand is a little bit more flexible, like the brush tip, so I have a little bit more control. So I went back over with the NYX one and I kind of touched up my eyeliner. So now what I'm going to do is just take a baby wipe. I just use the Parent Choice wipes and I'm just going to wipe away this fallout and prepare my face for foundation. Kind of also cleaning up the edges of my eyeshadow with the baby wipe as well. For lashes, I'm going to use the Strict Tease from Voss. I've been loving these. I have used them before, as you can see. I'm obsessed with these lashes. Voss has really great, full, beautiful lashes, and I think that they are perfect for the holidays because they are very dramatic, but they're still super wearable. I'm going to apply these, and then I'll see you soon for foundation. Okay, lashes are on. I love the way they look with this eye look. I think they're just perfect. So I'm going to move on to skin, and I'm first going to start off by priming, and I'm going to be using my Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer. This is one of my favorites. I really like this for filling in my pores and kind of just like really smoothing out my skin. This also smells like lemons, which I love. My skin today is pretty normal, so I'm gonna just use my L'Oreal Pro Glow foundation. This is another like holy grail of mine. I have this one in the shade 204, and I'm just gonna use my beauty blender with this. I love this foundation because it gives me great coverage and it gives me like a natural glow to my skin, kind of like I'm glowing from within. And I have combo skin, and like I said, my skin hasn't been really dry lately. Like, it's been pretty normal the past couple of days. So I'm just gonna go in with this, just a little bit, like a light layer, because knock on wood, my skin has been doing pretty good. Like, not too many breakouts. And I will be doing an updated skincare routine because I found some really great products that have been working so well for me. So stay tuned for that. I will be doing that. For concealer, I'm using one of my faves, again, Tarte Shape Tape. I ran out of my Ulta full coverage concealer. I need to go to the drugstore and pick up more of that concealer, but for now I'm just using this. I really want to brighten up the inner part of my under eye because I have such a dramatic look. I feel like I really need it. And this one, by the way, is in the shade Light Medium. I love this concealer as well, but if you want to dupe and you don't want to spend that much money, I think the Ulta Beauty full coverage is a great alternative. To go ahead and set my under eye area, I'm using the Too Faced, I cannot pronounce this. A lot of you guys were telling me like in the comments how to pronounce it, but I can't say it right. I say Ethereal, but that's wrong. Ethereal, is that how you say it? Ethereal setting powder. It just looks like this. I have been loving this powder lately. It's so nice for setting underneath. It makes the area so smooth and bright without being like too over dramatic. And I just set the area. I don't necessarily bake. I'm not a huge fan of baking. Like, I know that was a trend for a long time, but it wasn't my favorite trend personally. So I just literally take my beauty blender and just set everywhere where I applied my concealer. Surprise, surprise, I'm going in with my Sephora Micro Smooth powder. I'm using a Wet n Wild powder brush, and I have this one, by the way, in the shade Claire Light 15, and I'm just going to use this to set the rest of my face. Before I forget, I'm also going to go ahead and set my brows. Whenever I do my brows first and like my powder afterwards, I feel like they get a little ashy looking, so I like to make sure I set them to give them a more fuller, darker look, and also so they don't move. So this is the Maybelline Brow Fiber Volumizer, and I love this. So I'm first gonna line my waterline with this purple eyeliner. It's from Maybelline. It's the waterproof gel pencil liner, and I have this one in the shade Polished Amethyst. Since we kind of have like a pink sort of magenta purpley eyeshadow going on, I figured this purple liner would be so pretty and dramatic. So I'm just gonna go ahead and align my waterline. Using a Morphe M432, one of my favorite brushes for my lower lashes. You can see it's very stiff and angled. And I'm just going to be taking my, again, Mauve Obsessions palette, and I'm going to pick up the burgundy color, and I'm going to apply that right on my lower lash line. With the same color, I'm using a different brush. This is also by Morphe. This is the E18. I'm just going to smudge that out. So then what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a little pop in a minute to the inner tear duct. So I'm just going to go ahead and bronze my skin and contour a little bit. I'm going to use the Sephora Collection Contour Kit. I'm not the biggest fan of these shades like to set underneath. Like, they're okay, they're not my favorite, but the contour shades are really nice in here. So I'm going to start off by just sort of bronzing the skin with my Morphe R2 brush, which is one of my favorites. Everything's my favorite in this video, let's get real. I'm going to use these two colors and just kind of mix the two, tap off the excess, and just very lightly bronze. Then with an LA Girl 104 brush, this brush is amazing. These brushes were actually sent to me, but I'm not sure if they're available in stores, but I know online on their website they are available, but these are so good. Taking the same exact colors, I'm just gonna chisel out my cheekbones a little bit. Then I'm using an LA Girl 103 brush, and I'm going to use a little bit of blush. I want to keep the cheeks very subtle as far as like blush goes, so I'm going to use this Lottie London Blush Crush Powder Blusher. I love the packaging. You can get this brand on Ulta's website, and this one is in the shade Blush Crush. Wait, no, it's not. This one's in the shade Drake. It's a really pretty pink. And it just adds, you can see, just a really light wash of color, not anything crazy to the cheeks. Using my Morphe M501 brush, I'm going to be using this Pop Beauty highlighter. I've been loving this. This one's in the shade Stellar Light. You can see I've been using it like a lot. It's like a nice rose gold highlighter. It's beautiful. I love it with this look because it has a little bit of like a hint of pink in it. So it's really, really pretty. And you can see a little bit goes such a long way. I'm obsessed with these highlighters because they're really smooth and pigmented, and they're not chunky or glittery. Then with that same highlighter, what I'm going to do is just apply that in the inner tear duct of my eyes just for a little bit of a pop. Applying that shade pretty dramatically because I really want that to pop. And oh, I love this shade so much. This could even be a really pretty eyeshadow. These highlighters are beautiful, you guys. I really highly recommend them because they're probably one of the best that I've ever tried, to be quite honest with you. They're not powdery, they're not chunky, there's no glitter. It's just an intense, beautiful glow. A tiny bit on my brow bone. Okay, and then the, of course, final thing is the lips. So in my video when I was wearing this look, I was wearing like a mixture of lip color, so I'm going to do the same exact lip color because I really liked the way that it looked. With this look, I personally would wear like a pinky nude. You could do even like a bold red, but I really want the eyes to be like the main focus of the show. Obviously for the holidays you can go hard or go home, do a red lip. I'm sure it would look beautiful, but I'm gonna do a nude pinky lip. So I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Color Riche Matte Liquid, I lied, not liquid, regular lip liners. These are amazing, and I'm just gonna line my lips. This one is, by the way, I didn't even say it, it's in the shade 110. Then I'm using the Wet n Wild liquid lipstick in the shade Rebel Rose. Kind of let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to go over top with my new favorite lipstick formula. It's the Bite Beauty. I talked about these before in my last video and in my Sephora haul. I got this little like 4 set of Bite Beauty lipsticks. These are so long wearing, creamy, and pigmented. Oh my gosh, they're amazing. So I'm just gonna layer this over top. Don't ask me why I layered these shades. I just did it like the last time I did this look. This one, by the way, is in the shade Honeycomb. I guess you don't really need to put the liquid lipstick underneath. I could have just went in with the lipstick, but I'm just being extra. I'm also going to add a little bit of the shade Sugarcane, which this one's a little bit more of like a pinky nude. Okay, and that is honestly it. You could totally do gloss, but I'm just going to leave it like this because I love the way the lipstick is on its own. It's so creamy, you guys, and very, very comfortable. So finally, I'm just going to go ahead and set my makeup with my Ulta Beauty Matte Setting Spray. Alright guys, so that does complete this video. Let me know what you think down below, and also please feel free to leave me more video requests as well down below in the comments. And if you're interested, I actually am doing Vlogmas this year, so I'm vlogging every single day up until Christmas. So if you like vlogs and you like sort of like follow me around videos, I will link my vlog channel down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you in a few days in my next video. Bye!